What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we have some bad news. But don't panic. This is some fairly new news, so we still might see some potential solutions to help resolve this. And we're already hearing about some members of Congress that are trying to combat this. But this is definitely not the best news for infrastructure and stimulus. But like I said, don't panic. I believe that there will be some resolutions that we will likely see here shortly. This is the dance we always see in Congress as we're seeing articles come out like this. Take a look. Sinema says that she does not support the $3.5 trillion reconciliation package that Democrats plan to pass along party lines. And yes, that is that second portion of the infrastructure bill for human infrastructure, for stimulus provisions, the American Families Plan that they're calling the anti-poverty plan. That stimulus package, the largest one that we will ever see so far of $3.5 trillion, she says she doesn't support it. Now, just to clarify, we're going to be reading in here that she says she doesn't support that much spending. That's too high, but she does support stimulus. So she's saying she wants to bring the price tag down. Now, that could throw, though, a major kink into things because we have progressives like Bernie Sanders and others saying they want to see double. And she's saying she wants to bring it down. And as you know, through the process of reconciliation, we need every Democrat in the Senate on board. We pretty much need unanimous agreement from all Democrats. And now there is some fighting going on, and we're already seeing some responses. Here's another article that come out. Key Vote Sinema says she's a no on Democrats' $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. Here's another one. Kyrsten Sinema's right that America can't afford Democrats' free trillions. And as we said, this is literally $3.5 trillion, the largest that we will have ever seen in stimulus. And the one we're going to be looking at in more detail today, Kyrsten Sinema blocked Democrats' plan to spend $3.5 trillion on infrastructure, setting up major cuts to that $3.5. Now, like I said, we're already seeing some responses. Take a look at this. AOC tangles with Sinema over $3.5 trillion spending package. And you're going to want to see what she tweeted out because they have a little bit of leverage on her, threatening to not pass that bipartisan bill in the House unless she gets on board with $3.5 trillion, you guys. That's right. I'm going to be diving into these articles, getting you caught up on the latest as to what's unfolding. And as you guys know, regardless of whether it's good news or bad news, the purpose of my channel here is to keep you up to date, so I just report it to you. And if you like and appreciate that I'm keeping you up to date, do me a quick favor, just takes a second. Be sure to smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Just takes a second. Also, leave your comments down below. Would love to hear your thoughts, and also share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. Those simple gestures just take a second. Really help out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. And also, this is your first time here. Don't forget, if you want to stay up to date on all this stuff, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. You can come join the viewing community. Come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff so you know what's happening. And if you got any specific questions that you want me to answer, be sure to shoot me a DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, as that is the best way to get a hold of me. But you guys, let's go ahead and dive into these articles. I'm going to let you know what's unfolding in Congress right now, the fighting happening in the Democratic Party over the infrastructure bill and more stimulus as of today, July 29th, 2021. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So link in the description below to this article that just came out yesterday that says Senator Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona on Wednesday, she came out in opposition to Democrats' $3.5 trillion spending blueprint, virtually ensuring her party would be forced to make substantial cuts to get her on board. And we need every single Democrat to pass this through reconciliation. Just to clarify, we've heard there is no GOP support, so the only way that we're going to see this pass is from Democrats unifying and passing it through. And now Kyrsten Sinema, she's throwing a bit of a wrench into that. Now, the article says in a statement to the Arizona Republic, the moderate Democrat said that while she supported efforts to bolster the country's economic competitiveness in an infrastructure plan, she believed that the bill was too large, and it is currently set at $3.5 trillion. She said, "I have also made it clear that while I will support beginning this process, I do not support a bill that costs $3.5 trillion. And in the coming months, I will work in good faith to develop this legislation with my colleagues and the administration to strengthen Arizona's economy and help Arizona's everyday families get ahead," she said. Sinema's opposition will come as a blow to other Senate Democrats who ultimately agreed on a $3.5 trillion spending plan earlier this month. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, the chair of the Senate Budget Committee, he had pressed for a much larger spending proposal, but settled on 3.5, and we had heard him say he wanted to see 6 trillion, but that wasn't even the largest. You'll recall Pramila Jayapal said that in order to do what she really wanted to help stimulate our country, we needed to see $10 trillion, and she's one of the ones pushing for monthly stimulus checks, and that is definitely enough, what we've heard from estimates, to get monthly checks in there throughout the course of the pandemic. But let's continue on. The article says, earlier on July 28th, hopes for the bill were raised as key Republican senators reached agreement with the White House on a bipartisan basis. Now, other Democrats, they've expressed concern about high spending in the party line process as well. And we're talking about Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia. He's another key moderate who has demanded that any reconciliation bill be fully paid for. And he's normally the face of opposition of the progressives in the Democratic Party. He's a moderate Democrat right in the middle between Republican and Democrat, and he's normally the one that has certain demands that they have to meet. But this time, it's Kyrsten Sinema. Now, the article says that Democrats are seeking to stuff many new social initiatives in the reconciliation plan, including a national paid leave program, affordable childcare, prescription drug reform, and another extension of monthly cash payments for parents, aka that child tax credit. Now, they also want a robust spending on green energy initiatives to combat the climate crisis. Sinema's spike makes cuts to the package very likely because, as you know, the way they do it is they find the overall price tag, their budget that they're willing to spend, then they grab the provisions and see what they can fit in at what amounts. Now, they agreed to 3.5, but if they had to cut it down further, this could cut out some of the provisions that they're thinking about including. As you guys know, for the third stimulus check of $1,400 per person and dependent, that was a $400 billion provision. At this time, it is currently not included, but if they cut this down even further, that cuts down the likelihood that we could see a fourth check. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date here on the channel. Now, Sanders told reporters on Wednesday that the final reconciliation bill would likely clear the Senate in September. And as you know, that's the timeline. They want to pass the first one, that's what they just did, the first portion of the reconciliation bill in the Senate. Now they want to get the second one ready. Once both are passed in the Senate, they'll move them onto the House. And we're hearing this will all likely happen in September. But he expressed confidence that every Senate Democrat would vote to advance the $3.5 trillion blue plan in the next few weeks. So in the next few weeks, as they extend into recess, they're saying they want to have this all done. So we're likely going to be hearing a lot of updates on this in the coming days. Now, as I mentioned, we have already heard from progressive Democrats who were outraged at Sinema's statements. Take a look at this. A link in the description below to this article that came out that says AOC tangles with Sinema over the $3.5 trillion spending package. Senator Kyrsten Sinema's statements that she'll want to change the Democrats' $3.5 trillion spending package provoked progressive anger. Now, the article says Sinema's statements provoked instant outrage from progressive House Democrats, and Representative AOC tweeted, "Good luck tanking your own party's investment on childcare, climate action, and infrastructure while presuming that you'll survive a 3-vote House margin." In other words, she is suggesting that if she does not get on board with the $3.5 trillion in that stimulus, that when her bill that she just worked on, that bipartisan $1.2 trillion in traditional infrastructure, hits the House, that Democrats in the House will not support it if she does not support more stimulus. So throwing out an ultimatum saying, we're not going to vote for your bipartisan bill unless you also vote for the reconciliation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, reading on, and we have Representative Mondaire Jones. And without a reconciliation package that meets this moment, I'm a no on the bipartisan deal negotiated by Sinema. So they're letting her know, you better get on board or you're going to lose the House for passing that bipartisan bill. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, further down in this article, it says Senator Joe Manchin, he has not explicitly weighed in on the $3.5 trillion proposal either, as we read in the previous article. Senator John Tester, another moderate, said that he'll support the budget, but that doesn't mean that he's locked on the final product, so he might want a few things changed as well. Senate Democrats need to lockstep unity to pass anything. As we mentioned, they all have to be on board. And Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, she has made it clear that Sinema's bill, that bipartisan infrastructure package of $1.2 trillion that just passed, that won't come to the House floor until that reconciliation bill passes the Senate. So they're saying, Sinema, you can say what you'd like, but don't forget, we also have to pass everything in the House. And right now, House Democrats, they're rallying to combat Sinema. So you guys, we'll see how this resolves. I don't think that this is the end of it. They're going to have to figure something out if they want to get this passed. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So you guys, that is the latest news that just came out from Congress. I'll be sure to keep you up to date as more stuff unfolds. And I know it's not necessarily the smooth path forward that we were hoping for infrastructure and stimulus, but this is the way that Congress rolls. And like I said, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Just takes a second, really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, join the Ram fam, the viewing community, and I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff. And be sure to shoot me any questions you got on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, hope this reaches you well. Remember, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Times, guaranteed uploads Monday through Friday, and also random videos throughout the day as news breaks. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Hope this reaches you well. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.